What is up, guys, and welcome back to episode number 37 now of the Leeds United career mode, and it's the second episode of career mode in the single day, so smash that like button for the fact we've uploaded 2 career mode episodes in the same day. We kick this episode off by showing you we have an offer from Wolfsburg to go over there and manage Wolfsburg, but at this moment in time, I'm not interested in leaving Leeds United. I want to see my job through here. My job at the moment at this club is to try and get them to win the Champions League and become one of the most dominant forces in Europe and basically world football. So yeah, that's the reason I declined that offer. It was a very good offer, I have to say, from Wolfsburg to be able to go over there and manage in the German league. By the way, I'm going to try and do this commentary, but apologies if you can hear fireworks going off in the background. There's no reason for it. It's not bonfire night yet. It's just people around my area seem to have a lot of enjoyment out of setting fireworks off at random times in the year. And right now, they are so loud, and I can't do anything about it. And I want to get this commentary done, so I can't sort of put it off till the next day. And they just don't seem to be stopping. I've tried to wait for the longest time possible for them to stop basically setting off fireworks, and I've been waiting pretty much all day to do this commentary. It's going off right now, so apologies, like I said, if you can hear it. If the commentary is too bad, and then when I play it back to myself and try and listen to it, if I can hear it in the commentary, then I'll have to redo this. But fingers crossed I won't have to do that. But we took on Chelsea for the first game of this episode, obviously with our new formation that we implemented last episode, thanks to the comment that Mark Italy left us when he told us to switch to that 4-1-2-1-2. Last episode, we had a little bit of success with it in terms of me feeling more comfortable. Results-wise, we didn't have the success because we got 3 draws in the episode, 2 0-0s and a 1-1 draw. Go back and watch that episode if you are interested. Well, earlier on it was this episode. It's 4 o'clock that came out. This one comes out at 6. So, we've just managed to change the formation. Last episode, we obviously didn't have the greatest of luck in terms of results, but I felt better playing that way. And as you can see, we sat 13th place. Aston Villa, the side that we drew 1-1 with in the last episode, the one that you saw before this, sat just below us. So we went to Stamford Bridge here to play Chelsea, who were actually on a good run of form. They'd won their last 3 games in the league, so it meant that we were coming to Stamford Bridge here to play an informed Chelsea side with us not really being in form. As you can see, the lowest scoring teams in the league, we were part of that with only 9 goals scored. 10 goals was the next highest one, and that is Sunderland. So right now, only 9 goals this far into the season is pretty damn poor. And when you're coming up against a team like Chelsea who've won their last 3 games in a row, we're not looking like it's going to be a good day at the office for us here. You can see their side on the screen. Begovic, Ivanovic, David Luiz, just a bunch of really high-class players. They also had on the bench Oscar, Icardi, Abraham Baba, Pedro and Batshuayi. They have so many good players to come off the bench. I would take any single one of those Chelsea substitutes over here at Leeds United if we so could afford them. But unfortunately, we can't just yet in this career mode. However, that was their bench, and I would have happily let any of them walk in and play in my starting 11 on the day if we could do that. But unfortunately, we can't. That's the side that we named for this one. Lafont, Miguel, Carlos Hernandez, De Siglio as our back line. Augusto, Pablo Hernandez, and Ronaldo Vieira. I think Augusto was the CDM. We've obviously got... No, I don't think Ronaldo Vieira actually played. I think it was Iwobi, Green, and Pablo Hernandez on the other side of that. And then Kamaru and Lasanga up front. So, decent enough team if we were looking at a side to play in terms of our strongest lineup. However, is it going to be good enough to give Chelsea a real good run for their money here at Stamford Bridge? Obviously, they've won their last 3 games, like I've mentioned, so looking at this result, or looking at the way this game is going to go, in terms of that one, form-wise, it's on their hand. We haven't really hit form, so in terms of that, I had nothing to lose coming here to Stamford Bridge, though, and I wanted to sort of play that way and just prove to myself that I can still do this. As Lasanga here, basically 10 minutes into this one with his weaker right foot, took the strike on from a ridiculous angle. It was well saved in the end by Thibaut Courtois in the goal. Joel Green picks up the rebound though, and from the edge of the area smashes one goalwards, which comes back off the post to my demise. I couldn't quite believe it. What a goal it would have been by Joel Green. But not only did we have one long shot come back off the post, we then had a second as Felipe Augusto decided to try his luck, and he smashed that one goalwards again, which then comes off the bar yet again. But this time it falls into the thankful hands of Kevin Lasanga, who gets his first goal for Leeds United here, and it's it's not the best of goals, is it, in terms of what he could have scored? But if one of those 2 long shots that we'd had there on the edge of the area had have gone in, I would have been absolutely over the moon. I mean, in fact, I'm over the moon at the fact we scored and we lead at Stamford Bridge in a game that I was not looking forward to going into this. After they'd won the last 3, I was expecting to get absolutely smashed here. But in the opening 20 minutes, it was all me, and we were deservingly in the lead in this one. And 43 minutes into the game, we could have had a second as Courtois comes out to punch, or Begovic comes out to punch, sorry, it's not Courtois, I've said Courtois already. Begovic comes out to punch. We sent our effort goalwards after he punched it straight to a Leeds United player, but unfortunately couldn't turn the ball into the back of the net, and it's remained at 1-0 until the 84th minute, when Chelsea had their first attack of the game. David Luiz, all the way up from centre-back, does my man very, very well, takes his strike on, but unfortunately for Chelsea, it's straight at Alban Lafont, who says thank you very much, cleans house with that save. The corner then gets whipped into a dangerous area, but Aspilicueta, it's a simple strike, and he sends it blazing over the bar. And 88 minutes in, Joel Green down this right-hand side. I'm just trying to waste time at this point. Gives it to Pablo Hernandez. Hernandez sees Iwobi in acres of space, and he's got to keep his composure in front of goal. He does that, gets his shot on target. It's well saved by Begovic. It comes to Lasanga. Chance to make it 2 for himself in a single match in which he hasn't even scored yet up until this point. But unfortunately, he sent his strike basically straight at Begovic. And if we weren't leading this game, I would have been very, very disappointed in that one had we have not already been 1-0 up, if that was the outcome of this one. If this would have ended 0-0, having just basically done that in the last minute of the game, I would have been utterly frustrated. However, it didn't matter. That goal that we scored with Lasanga early on with the 2 long shots which came back off the bar ended up meaning that we did manage to pick up the full 3 points here. We absolutely outplayed Chelsea, and for anyone here that's going to say that this wasn't a legendary, it certainly was. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't know what happened that game. I literally, for some reason, something clicked in me, and I played the way that I was playing back when we were in the FA Cup last season. I don't quite know what happened and why I had such luck there at Stamford Bridge, whether it was Chelsea not performing on the day. Well, in all honesty, Chelsea did not perform to how they should have performed. Although we were good, if Chelsea had have used their players, let's call it, to as best as they could, they should have outplayed us off the park. And unfortunately for the Chelsea fans at Stamford Bridge on the day, they just simply didn't turn up. And it happens in world football sometimes. So we managed to pick up a 1-0 victory there. Yes, it's a sloppy 1-0 victory, but it's 3 points out of Stamford Bridge. So 3 points I wasn't expecting to get in this series out of Stamford Bridge. Then we had our Europa League game here against Mönchengladbach. Like I said last episode, the episode that came out just before this, in this double upload date of Career Mode, we only had to draw this game and we will be in the knockout phases of the Europa League. Simple, we just have to draw. That's it. That's the only thing that we need to do in this game. And that'll be it. We'll have got out of the group. And we're going into games. I hate having to go into games when I need to just draw, because it puts me in 2 minds as to whether or not I should attack or whether or not I should just sit back and try and keep them basically 0-0. But at the same time, I didn't quite know what to do going into this one as to whether or not I should have attacked or if I should have basically sat back and just waited and let the pressure come on to me and then try and hit them on the counter. So going into it, I didn't know what my game plan was going to be. You'll see the side that we've named in a second. It's pretty much a weaker side than what I would have liked to have named. It's obviously not our strongest lineup because fitness issues and everything else to do with that nature. Mönchengladbach side, though, is the best side that they could have powered. You'll see the 2 sides coming up in a second, or rather, I think I skip it. Yeah, I skipped it back, so I don't really know why I skipped it in the end. But this was one of those games, you know, when you just sort of think in your mind that, like I said, I was in 2 minds, but I was sort of thinking at the same time as Mark gets a chance here for Lasanga. Lasanga, great turn in the area, and you guessed it, he's going to put his shot wide as per usual. That's what Kevin Lasanga normally does. I make 2 good tackles here on the Mönchengladbach player as it falls back to Thorgan Hazard, who originally tries to take the strike on with his right foot. It's blocked originally by my player, falls back to me in the penalty area, and what a finish it is on his left foot. The brother of Eden Hazard gets Mönchengladbach off to the perfect start here, and when we needed to only draw the game, we found ourselves a goal down in this one. And 25 minutes in, we were trying to get ourselves back into the game as Eiling goes down the right side, cuts it back to Moat. Moat inside to Anita. Anita into Chris Wood. Wood into Lasanga. Lovely passing play. Lasanga's then tackled on the edge of the area. Anita, hit your strike on target, but we can't find the target yet again. So, I'm not going to put it down to the fact that Lasanga's the one doing this, because that's twice now. We've had 2 efforts in this one, both from Lasanga and Anita, and I've blazed them both wide as it got even worse for us here in the 35th minute of this one. Mönchengladbach would make it 2-0 there, and it's a very, very poor goal to concede from my perspective, I have to say. The fact that we only needed to draw out of this one and now we're 2-0 down in the game did not make me very happy, I have to say. I was very disappointed. Like I said, I was caught in 2 minds as to whether or not I should have sat back or gone to try and get myself a goal in this one. The fact that I didn't get myself a goal probably was my undoing here. I probably should have gone and just tried to take the game to Mönchengladbach rather than do what I did. I didn't really know what my game plan was coming into it, and it's probably cost us the fact that now we're going to be out of Europe. As Kamaru did actually get us a consolation here, 61 minutes in. I was thinking we had a chance to get ourselves back into this as he tried to feed it there, or rather, the man on the left-hand side tried to feed it there. They made a tackle, but we win it back here with Mano. Mano's going to go inside to I do believe Kamaru. A lovely turn on the edge of the area. Oh no, that's Iwobi, sorry. Into Kamaru now. And Roof smashes that one into the bottom, or the top corner of the goal to make it 2-1 here. 63 minutes in, but like I said, it was no more than a consolation goal, which is very unfortunate. It means we're out of Europe now. I have to say, based on that performance there against Mönchengladbach, I'd say the 2 most deserving sides in this division, or rather in this group stage, did get out of the group stage. Obviously, Copenhagen have beaten us, so that sort of makes it, I guess you could say, it's one of those things. Mönchengladbach beating us here as well. We were completely outplayed on the day. There's there's no doubt about it. Literally, it seems to be once I'm out playing one team in career mode, I end up having a good performance, and then my next performance after that one isn't good, and that's what's happened here. We beat Chelsea by a goal to 0. In honesty, I would have rather had the 3 points against Chelsea than won this game here. But it would have been nice to have the best of both worlds. A Mönchengladbach sent men forward, almost made it 3-1 there as we were chasing an equalising goal, but we couldn't unfortunately find it, like I said. So, it means we're out of Europe, guys, but at the same time, like I said a few episodes ago, I'm not too disappointed about it. Had we have got through in the group stage, yes, it would have been great. It would have meant we would have been able to play European football here. But the fact that we didn't get through, I'm not majorly disappointed. I think we put on a good show against two very solid teams in Copenhagen and Mönchengladbach. There, we were in the game. There's no doubt about that. We were definitely in that game against Mönchengladbach. The fact that we only lost it 2-1 makes a very good sign. The fact that we as well had many chances in that one. But we go back to the original point of we not putting away our chances. And Mönchengladbach, in the end, probably deserved to go through. And the fact that we didn't go through, Liverpool won their game. I'm not entirely sure if the other two English sides made it through out of their groups. I'll check for you in the next episode once that comes around. But I want to mention right now, guys, we are almost in the January transfer window. If you want me to sign any players, leave your comments down in the comments section, and I will basically, I'll look at every single one and try and make it possible to sign these players that you guys asked me to sign. We went into our third and final game here after we've just been knocked out of Europe here against Manchester City. So not an easy episode by any stretch of the imagination. We had Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Then we had Mönchengladbach in the Europa League, and now we've got Manchester City here. So we've already beaten Manchester City once in this series. Looking to do it again, but this time in the Premier League. That one was obviously the FA Cup in the run we had up until we won the FA Cup. Now we play them in the Premier League. It's a whole different kettle of fish. It really doesn't matter what you like in that, or what you had in the build-up to the FA Cup final and stuff. This is all we're playing for. We're playing for 3 points today. That's it. That's the only thing we're playing for. I think they actually had a youth academy goalkeeper in next. I've never heard of the guy they actually had in goal. I could be wrong, but you'll see it coming up in a second. I don't think I show you the teams in this one either, because again, I didn't mean to skip it, but I actually did, which is again my problem. I didn't actually mean that. You can see the league table. We're not even in the top 10 at the moment. Man City are in 7th. You can see the top 4 as well, which is a very weird top 4 of Spurs, Palace, Leicester, and Chelsea. Chelsea, who we just beat earlier on in the episode by a 1-0, so that's very nice to see that we managed to beat a top 4 side here. But we played Manchester City here at Elland Road, and the first chance fell our way in the game as we get ourselves a free kick here. I decided to take the free kick, just ran into the defender with Sacco as the advantage was being played by the referee. Pablo Hernandez is going to step over this. Originally it was Joel Green, but he's not got good enough free kick stats to be able to take this, so we put Pablo Hernandez on it, and you can guess what's going to happen here. I'm going to try and smash this goalwards. We get it over the wall very nicely, and it comes back off the post as we were unfortunately not able to make it a 0-0 there in the 26th minute. Ball goes out of play, and that was the end of that chance, but we had one more before the end of the game, actually. 47 minutes in, a lovely strike by Pablo Hernandez, but it was well met by the Manchester City goalkeeper. Again, I think it is a Youth Academy prospect in the form of Lawler. I will check it just as I end up leaving this episode just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure it's a Youth Academy prospect. And there you go. We ended up picking up a 0-0 draw here at home against Manchester City. But again, I'm very, very happy with that. Actually, it's not a Youth Academy player because he actually had a face, so it's not a Youth Academy player. I don't quite know who it is. It must be a bugged player because I don't know why you'd have someone that rating. I've never heard of him playing at Manchester City. I'll check it out in Foothead once this episode's done. However, we picked up a 0-0 draw there. We picked up a 1-0 win earlier on in the episode, and we picked up a 2-1 loss today. So the episode's not been great, but it's not been the worst episode. We picked up points, is what I wanted to do. We picked up 4 points out of a possible 6, but we did, in fact, get knocked out of Europe, which is disappointing. But again, not too disheartened by it. We'll just go again in the Premier League, and we'll try and get ourselves into European football once again. Thank you all so much for watching this episode of Career Mode. And as always, I hope you've enjoyed, and I'm out. Adios.